this Saturday just keep fucking stinging me. And maybe I refuse to learn the lesson because I keep going to the shootout well, and that seems to be what's hurting me the most. But not today. I'm not ready to learn that lesson today. 3 shootout picks, first of which, Florida Panthers at Ottawa Senators. As mentioned, the Ottawa Senators have outplayed their opponents in 4 of 6 games. Their expected goals for ratings in all 4 of those games have been above 60%. So outplaying their opponents by a substantive margin. Florida, this will be their 6th straight road game and 9th straight time they're playing in a different arena. So basically they had 2 road games, a home game. This is the 6th straight road game. They've had a little bit of things have been kind of split up evenly. They had that like almost a week off, but this is the part that gets me. This is the first night of a back-to-back for this team. They're probably going to come in with, I would suspect, Spencer Knight, who's operating way below way above career norms. His save percentage over the last 5 games is 92.3% relative to his career average of 90.8. That's way above where we would expect it to be. That's going to come down. I think that it comes down to the Senators playing a good brand of hockey against an inferior goaltender. I'm expecting this one to get sorted out in a shootout. I'm hoping, but I like Ottawa nonetheless. I'm taking it as a shootout at plus 390, $20 to win 78.
All right, that's not bad. What do I got? I also think there are going to be some shootouts tonight. We're going to get some overtimes. We're going to have some ties out there. So my first play, and this almost goes against everything I believe in. I'm not just going straight up Montreal Canadiens winning. I think we're going to see some overtime in Le Bell Center. There you go. I can figure out how road games work. I'm going to take Toronto, Ottawa, overtime. $35 at like plus 3 something. I know my payout's $164 on that one, so that's my first play. I also think we have overtimes coming.
I would say sometimes we're pretty good at having our fingers on the pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, figuring that out is the difference. Anyways, I don't know what I'm trying to say is that normally when we're aligned on things, it's not a bad, or it's a bad sign.
Earlier in the season, there was a Sunday or a Saturday where we both were like, "Oh man, there's going to be tons of overtime games." Was it this year or last year?
No, that was this year.
That was this year.
It was like 8 or 6, something like that.
Something like that. Of like the 8 of the 9 games, there was 6. And I was like, Jesus. And like we just didn't have the right permutation, so I don't think we cashed in. But had you taken that strategy and just like splattered, we had that feeling. Had you just splattered, it would have worked out really well. So.
You know what? The Canada puck splatter. I talked about this last week. I might call an audible here. Try to put all our genius ideas together for one massive parlay. But before we get there, Edmonton at Calgary. I'm taking the other Hockey Night in Canada game to go to a shootout. Battle of Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton trending positively. Calgary's playing that good brand of hockey. This feels just like 2 Titans colliding. It's going to be like basically just standing toe-to-toe trading blows, and I could see it getting sorted out in overtime. Plus 340. I like this pick. $50 to win 170.
It's not bad. I like that game as well. I wanted to put a little bit of juice on it, hence the hat. I'm going to go under 6.5 goals scored, so a 3-3 overtime. Man, that would really upset me. So 2-2, 1-1. I'm going to go under. I'm going to fade it just because I want to see fireworks. I want to see one of those iconic performances. I want to see some hats thrown on the ice tonight. I want to see something fun. But if I don't get to see that, I want to be rewarded for my efforts. So I'm going to take $30 at minus 105. So I'm paying a little bit of extra premium there, but I think it's worth it.
Different kind of emotional hedge, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this and be entertained. And if not, I want you to pay me for this. So, yeah.
This is that rationale, not specifically that rationale, but expecting a more tightly battled contest is what kept me off of Connor McDavid and FanDuel, because I could see him getting a point, maybe 2 points, but in a 2-2 game, that's how I ended up on Auston Matthews, where I think there's going to be more offensive fireworks. But that's not factoring into my third shootout, because that's right, I've got nothing but shootouts. Carolina at St. Louis. Carolina's coming in, playing on the road. St. Louis, I've said this for a long time, they're operating above their expected metrics, but I like them at home, but not so much better than the Carolina Hurricanes. So I thought this price warranted a play on overtime. I bet $20 on This game going to a shootout.
Nice. My last play, I'm just going to take all my good ideas, all the good ideas that I've come up with throughout the morning, and I'm going to parlay together. So I have a 3-team parlay coming at you. I have the Montreal Canadiens. I lied. I did put money on Montreal. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take Minnesota. I don't know. I can't see the Blue Jackets picking up a victory tonight, especially with Fleury's debut in net. And then all I need is the Seattle Kraken to suck. And if you've ever heard the slogan, Seattle Kraken suck. So right there. So I've got Montreal, Minnesota, and LA all winning, parlayed together at plus 515. $35 on that bad boy for a payout of like $215. So,
Damn.
So, Toronto, you're really gonna hurt me tonight, aren't you? That's what I'm saying. We need to do like I suggested we do like a Sunday hangover show where we just come on and we just like bitch about how much we hate ourselves.
And it will be mostly boiled down to one specific moment in the game where like, why the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
This cost me tens of dollars. I have 3-game parlay. Everything you just heard, all 3 games going to overtime. Florida, Ottawa, Edmonton, Calgary, Carolina, St. Louis. 3-leg parlay for $10 pays $917.08. I was going to throw the under in there. I was like, I don't want to. That could hurt me too much. Then I was like, well, what if I choose LA or, throw LA and Minnesota? You know what? Maybe I will throw LA and Minnesota. You talked me into it, Mick, even without saying it. It's just the Mick vibes.
Yeah, I guess mine could work because I have it going to overtime. So I just need Montreal winning in overtime. All right. Okay, that could work for that one. And then under there. All right. There's not too many conflicts. That's good. So when Toronto wins in regulation, I'll be like, oh, shucks. That's too bad.
All right, Tempest, fuck it. I've included Minnesota and LA in my 5-leg parlay. $10 pay $1,847.31. You heard it here first. Canada Puck Podcast.
That ain't not bad. Ain't not bad. All right. What time we got? So our video stopped essentially after our headlines. So FanDuel does not exist on YouTube today. I picked up again by the time it processed somewhere when you started maybe your first pick. So I think it's got all of our Bettor Advice segments. So it's going to be a very small part 2. I have no idea how long we've been going for.
55 minutes here. I just have to hammer out 2 things quickly.
Okay.
Because I know we got stuff to get to. The Dadonov trade. How the fuck did the NFL or NHL fumble that one? Where Dadonov was traded, everything came in at 5 o'clock. They're like, no, it's cool. 2 days later, oh yeah, we fucked up. He's not allowed to be traded. The other thing that I wanted to mention, Seattle. Do you know how many picks Seattle has over the next 3 drafts?
Not off the top of my head. I've heard it's a good chunk of change.
I think it's 27, man. 27. No, maybe it's more than that. It's a whole shitload of picks, though. Maybe it is in the 20s. Would that make sense? Nah, it would be higher than that.
3 times 7, they're 21 regardless, so.
Yeah. I think it's more than that, but it's a whole bunch. But anyways, we don't have to go down those rabbit holes. I just, headlines worth mentioning that just came to me throughout the show.
Well, this is kind of an interesting point of, expansion teams are supposed to kind of look like this, right? They're supposed to kind of take the grassroots approach. They're supposed to collect picks. They're supposed to move pieces, right? They're not supposed to come in as these juggernauts like we saw with the Vegas Knights. The Vegas Knights are just going to be one of those weird footnotes in history, right? Where they just, I don't know, they blew up, they grew, and then everyone kind of, they've built from there. Because if you look at that original squad of guys that went off for that team, William Karlsson's, how's William Karlsson doing this year? Not great.
34 picks, and William Karlsson's, and this is the part of the Dadonov trade that fucks them, because they were supposed to get Ryan Kessler's contract, and now they can't activate Mark Stone off the LTIR. Who's the other guy? One of the defensemen, Shea Theodore? No.
Okay.
Alec Martinez is the other guy. So now they're fucked. They have $700,000 worth of cap space, and $12 million worth of contracts that just can't move. So Vegas is in a tough spot, and their downfall's imminent. Thanks for nothing, Jack Eichel. You fucking sewered another franchise.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't know why I hate them, and I think the only reason I kind of hate the Vegas Knights is because I was so dead set against them having like being a good squad. I assumed they'd be Vegas, right, or like Seattle, like they sit at the bottom for a couple years before they blow up and they start going off. But the fact they had like instant success, I just feel like it wasn't earned, and like I kind of just dislike them for that. I don't know why. I have this like weird hate for this team for no reason.
It's Eichel. I hate this team now because of Jack Eichel. That guy's a fucking twat. I don't care.
Yeah. If like nothing good happened to him, that'd be alright. I'm trying to remember, who is that? Marchessault? Who is there like that lineup that the Knights had that first season that went off? Like Carlson, Marchessault, and Smith? Is that who it was?
Yeah, all three of those guys were
Riley Smith? I think they were all like above average, right? And everyone's like, well, how did you let this 70-point William Karlsson get away? I don't think he's done that since then, no?
No, and I think that his roles kind of evolved with that team too.
Yeah, like started at 78, their expansion year, and then 56, 40, 39, 22. So just like...
Thanks for Mark Stone and Max Pacioretty just stole everything from William Karlsson.
That was a big part of it too, definitely. So cool. So with that, I think that's it. The last couple weeks we were talking like other sports roundups. Any needle movers? Another sports? Not really.
Nothing. I would say nothing that's jumped out at me. The Lakers are fucking terrible. If you want to talk about a team that's missed the mark, we can't. We'd have to talk about the Lakers, but
a random point about the Lakers and basketball that I didn't bring up last week. So I watched it was like LeBron came back to Toronto on the Friday night. They went to overtime with the big Russell Westbrook shot, and then they just kind of outpowered the Raptors for a win in OT. Cut or uncut, or whatever you want to say. Could I wear a Lakers jersey to a Raptors game, being as a lifelong Raptors fan? So, like where is the line? So, if I wear a LeBron James Laker jersey, is that uncut? You can't do that, right? Like, that's like no, yeah, that's or can you say like because he is one of the greats, I'm like paying homage to him, right? Or like if I wear a Kobe jersey, is that a different story?
Yeah, I would say Kobe's definitely in a different category than LeBron. We can't. Kobe jerseys are, I would say, kosher throughout the league. LeBron's not sitting well with me these days. And the thing that we kind of talked about, I think, a little bit on the podcast, was the ball throwing incident at Scotty Barnes, where he just, turns around and whips it at Scotty Barnes as he's falling out of bounds. I don't think that LeBron got, nobody hates on LeBron. Nobody gives him the hate that he deserves, and sometimes he deserves hate.
Well, he kind of gets he does hardcore sports fans. I think because he is just so beloved and so popular, he kind of gets that Tom Brady effect where everyone hates Tom Brady, but you kind of have to almost I kind of respect him, right? And kids can gravitate to a LeBron, and he's just way more popular than he should be, and because they're looking at literally a living icon, right? Whereas LeBron James has been a part of my life for. I was a fan before him. I will be a fan after him, right? He's just this big blip in the middle. But yeah, I don't know. He's kind of that weird, iconic. I don't know. I was thinking about that because there was a couple guys in the Raptors jerseys, and I was like, I'm sure I've seen that same guy wearing a Raptors jersey. Sorry, and he's wearing a LeBron Lakers jersey, and he's doing this one, right? Oh, and I was like, that's kind of fun though. How many times do you get to see LeBron James live, right? And the Lakers are a big deal too, right? They kind of are this iconic team as well.
I see where you're coming from.
It's a weird line, right? Yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with wearing a LeBron James jersey. Where you kind of gained traction with me was the Tom Brady argument, because next year, September, the Jays are playing the Rays in Tampa, September 22nd. The NFL schedule hasn't come out yet, but I am praying that there is a Bucks game in Tampa that weekend so that I could see Tom Brady play. And this is coming from a guy who absolutely fucking despised Tom Brady for, what was it, 22 years before he ended up with the Bucks. I did not like him. As soon as he ended up with the Bucks, he just had a more likable persona. And I would say that maybe LeBron is in that category, but not with the Lakers. And I think LeBron Lakers is akin to Brady Patriots. And if he leaves for a different team, probably for me, immediately more likable.
Yeah, I could see you hating the Lakers. That makes sense. But yeah, no, like that is interesting because the people I've heard that say fuck Tom Brady, he sucks, and now they're kind of like, Tom Brady's kind of like, like he's all right. I'm like, the image cleanse that he's had of just leaving the Patriots organization is just immaculate, right? Like, comes in, does hard work, gets it done, right? That's Tom. So it's fascinating. So it's one of those things. If I had a chance, what's it worth to go see Tom Brady?
I'll tell you one thing. Four nights in a hotel with Grant, the Swiddick brothers, and a whole bunch of forgotten memories. That's what it's worth.
All right, well, my bracket fell apart. I mean, now in the thousands instead of like 14th place, so I don't have 25 G's to just throw around on sports trips. It's too bad.
Yeah, mine's not looking so good. Thanks for nothing, Gonzaga. And the thing that just chaps my ass the most now is I just feel like this sets the stage for Mike Krzyzewski to leave on winning terms, and that just rubs me the wrong way, man. I will tell you one thing. That guy is such a twat. He is in the Jack Eichel level of twatness. He does not deserve to leave on a high note. So I will pay money. Actually, you know what? That's probably illegal. I'm probably going to end up in jail for saying that. But I will support legally by donations. Can I make donations? I don't know if that's a great
Wear a North Carolina jersey?
Maybe that's what it boils down to.
Do you remember that time in university? I don't know if it was a dream or real life, but you had a dream, you told me, that you had ordered pizza, and you told the pizza delivery person that your last name was Krzyzewski. And you tried to spell it, and like in your dream, you started having this nightmare where like you just couldn't figure out how to spell Krzyzewski. And it's like, just like it sounds. Just write it down. It's fine. Just deliver it to me. I need this.
I wish some of that stuff stuck with me a little better, but that sounds like classic Grant White after a few beers.
Yeah.
It's just K-Shevsky.
K-Shevsky, you can figure it out. How many Krzyzewskis could you be delivering to tonight? Come on.
That's probably the third pizza place I got banned from that year.
It happens. That's when you move cities, so. All right. Final segment?
Yeah, the Canada Puck podcast would not be the Canada Puck podcast without our babe of the week. 9.1 million people feel the same way that I do about the immaculate Abigail Ratchford. Abigail Ratchford, just like it sounds. Ratch Ford. The one and only, Beverly Hills only, Ooh. Abigail Ratchford.
What is she selling in this picture? So I want those pills for some reason.
Yeah, you could take them. But these milkers could probably solve wars.
Oh, yeah.
Unite countries.
We have the same hobby. We box naked. That's pretty exciting.
Maybe she needs a sparring partner.
There you go. Take a couple rounds out of those fun bags.
Abigail will be in Tampa if you want to come spar with Mick. She is our babe of the week.
Schwing. All right. Good show. I think that's it. So outside of a weird botched recording, that's never happened before. I gotta work on this computer this week, and maybe that'll be my goal the rest of the day is like clean it up because something's up. I don't like it. Something's up, but I'll figure that out. So that's for me to worry about, not you guys. So as always, Grant, good show. Party on.
Party on, Mick. We'll see everybody next week.